What up, what up, what up, y'all? It's your boy Kareem Supreme. Now check this out. Stop. I know what y'all gonna say. Why is he a month late on the Hand That Rocks the Cradle review? Well, the real reason why is because, well, number one, I forgot. But no, the real reason why is because I always thought that this movie came out in February of 1992. And the reason why is because my Uncle Wolford took us to go see it. And it was like the second week of February. I remember because my cousin Tia's birthday was February 2nd. And, you know, he was like, I'm going to take everybody to the movies, not this week, but next week. And we was like, oh, okay, I bet. He was like, what y'all want to go see? And we all said Wayne's World. You know, it was me, my cousin Tia, and her brother Lamont. And he was like, okay, we'll take you to go see Wayne's World. Now, the very next week, my cousin Lamont did something stupid, so he couldn't go. So it was just me, my Uncle Will, and Tia. And we got to the movie. Like I said, we went to go see Wayne's World. And we didn't even get halfway through the movie. It was like maybe, we watched the first 15, maybe 20 minutes of it. I remember because it got up to the part where Ed, what's his name? Al Bundy, who played in Married with Children. I forgot his real name. Is it Ed O'Neill or Al? I forgot his name, but it got up to Al Bundy's part from Married with Children. And my Uncle Wolford was like, come on, y'all, let's get out of here. He was like, man, this is trash. So I said, okay, well, you know, I was 12 years old. You know, I was like, hey, whatever. I was just happy to go to the movies because, you know, we didn't have the luxury of just walking down the street to the movies. You know, at 12 years old, you know, going to the movies was like a special occasion. It was like a rare special occasion. But anyway, so I couldn't complain. So he was like, let's go see Tales from. He said, let's go see The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. And so we was like, okay, whatever. You know, I kind of wanted to finish watching Wayne's World because, you know, that's what we wanted to go see. But he was like, nah, man, that's garbage. Let's go see something with action. He was always an action kind of guy, suspense type of movie. He liked the suspense action, you know, thriller type of movies. You know, that was his taste as far as, you know, films. You know, I liked all film genres. But anyway, Hand That Rocks the Cradle, he was like, yeah, we'll go see this. And when we got in there, it had just started. I remember the names, the opening credits was on the screen, and I hadn't heard anything about this movie. Like, I didn't know anything about it. And neither one of us did. You know, the title just sounded interesting. So, you know, the first 5 minutes into the film, you know, I was like, man, this is going to be trash, man. Because it just looked too, I hate to say this, it just looked too white. And, you know, a 12-year-old, I couldn't relate to, you know, the white suburban lifestyle because that's the way the movie looked. That's the direction it looked like it was going to at first. But boy, was I in for a surprise. I mean, all throughout the movie, we were on the edge of our seats, you know, and people in the theater were screaming, yelling at the screen, at the movie screen. They were just yelling like, yeah, beat that bitch ass, get her. Yeah, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, why she do it? I mean, throughout the whole film. Now, I had never been to a movie where the crowd was engaged. You know, people were just yelling at, I'm telling you, this went on throughout the whole entire film. People were yelling at the screen. They were yelling, oh, I will beat that bitch ass. Oh, that's fucked up. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy. And this easily became one of my favorite movies of all times. One of them. There's so many, but this movie, because I wasn't expecting it to be any good. I thought it was going to be boring and unrelatable. But, you know, it was about this wealthy family. You know, the wife was molested by the doctor, and she told the press and the police about the doctor molesting her, and then other women came forward. So the doctor killed himself, you know, and she was pregnant, and for some reason, the doctor's wife thought that he raped the patient. For some reason, she thought that the lady's baby was the doctor's baby. Like, she thought that her dead husband was the father of that child. So her right here, Rebecca de Mornay, I forgot her last name. She thought that that was her husband's child. So she disguised herself as a sitter so she could watch the baby, and she was The thing that got me in this movie, now I'm 12 years old. The thing that got me was she was breastfeeding another woman's baby. You know what I mean? That just fucked me up. I never saw no shit like that. I just knew, my 12-year-old mind told me that this is grimy. This is some grimy, foul shit. And to this day, I'm funny about, babysitters. Even when my stepson was little, I just didn't, trust him being around babysitters. You know what I mean? To this day, I just do not trust babysitters because of this film. And then the lady had asthma. I have asthma. And the wife, the missus of the house had asthma. Annabella Sciorra. Now, out of all the cast members in this movie, the only two that I knew of was Annabella Sciorra, because she was just in a film prior to this called Jungle Fever. It was a Spike Lee movie. And I knew Ernie Hudson, because he was in he was in Harlem Nights, he was in Ghostbusters, he was in a bunch of movies. Them the only two that I knew of. And Annabella Sciorra, she was the missus of the house. She had asthma. And this chick right here let all the air out of her asthma pumps. And she had a damn near fatal asthma attack. I thought that was fucked up, because she had rescue inhalers, all around the house. And you could have an asthma attack from being stressed, frightened, angry. And this chick right here knew that. And so she let all the air out of her pumps, and that was all around the house. It was just crazy. Man, this movie was just off the wall. It was just, man, I forgot who directed it, but they did a hell of a job. It was great. Whoever wrote it was great. I know this movie the title came from a song, an old song back in the early 80s that I heard. The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world, or some shit like that. But yeah, there's Annabella Sciorra. Yeah, she was in Jungle Fever. She was Wesley Snipes' mistress. And yeah, man. And then this chick, Peyton was her name. Peyton was Rebecca. That's Peyton. She turned on everybody. She another part that got me was when she hit the husband in the head with a shovel, and he fell down the basement stairs and broke his legs. I was like, God damn. To this day, I don't like strangers in my house because of this movie. I'm telling you, this movie had a huge effect on me. And I know some of y'all it had a huge effect. This movie and Misery and Darkness Before Dawn had a huge effect on my well-being. Like, I grew up not trusting people in my house, not trusting babysitters, never wanted to do any drugs because of Darkness Before Dawn. But this movie hit home. Like, it just woke me up, and I've been woke ever since. I can honestly say that this is one of my favorite top 10 movies of all time. But yeah, another part that got me was the Solomon character played by Ernie Hudson. He was slow, and the character was slow, but he cared about the family. He cared about the baby, and she tried to frame Solomon by putting the daughter's panties in his toolbox. And he was so slow, he didn't know what was going on. He couldn't defend himself. Man, I suggest y'all watch this right now. If y'all don't have this movie in y'all collection, shame on y'all. There's so many details I can go over about this movie, but I'll just be spoiling it for y'all. Sorry. So y'all watch this movie. If y'all watched it already, please leave a comment. Please hit the Cash App. Leave a comment or something. I want to know what y'all thoughts. I want to know y'all thoughts on how it affected y'all. This your boy Kareem Supreme. Peace.